Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's Adventures once again in the great outdoors. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. Enjoy the video. Right guys, I said I was looking for a hat. I found one in Hathersage. Yeah, vented on each side, incredibly lightweight. Press studs on side. It tried to fall off that post. Press studs on the other side. From outdoor research, 100% guarantee on it. And I know they look a bit of a twonk. What do you think? If you like it, let me know you like the hat. I like it. It's nice and cool and it keeps the sun out of my eyes, that's what I want. And it's got like a little sheet that attaches to those two press studs there that goes around the back of your neck in case it gets really hot. Sounds like a plan to me. I advise buying one of these. You don't even know you got it on, other than that your eyes aren't sweating. Alright, onward. Right guys, this is the path that goes from Hope up to the top of the hill. I'm apologising to Dean Reid, because Dean Reid knows every path, road, hill and everything in the entire Peak District. Or so it would seem. And I've worked here and I can't remember any of them. Now look, this bracken smells gorgeous. Alright, and it's at the side and it's this path right to the top. Now the story, I came here like the hat. I came here with a guy, Rick from Old Hall Pub and Hotel, and we came up here looking for a location which is apparently haunted, and we'll be passing that in a bit. So apparently some people died in it, some kind of disease or something. We're passing that. We're going to go past where me and Richard stopped last time. And we're going to go between, I think, we're going to go between where me and Richard stopped and, you see my face? That's it. Between me and Richard stopped and where I stopped when I went on the Northern Bushcraft conference. So there's a little lip. We're going to spend a bit of time there, and then as to whether I move back or move on is a totally different thing. So I enjoy this walk. It's not overly demanding, but it gets your aerobic system working, and I like it. I love how the hills fall and the views are Lucille and Winhill, Mamtor and Hollins Cross to my left. I remembered them. Sorry, just remind me while we come here again. While we spend this time getting his gear ready, sleeping in bivvies and tents up here. An awesome place. Yeah, I think this is Wood where Dean got hit by midges and they bit his face. Yes Dean, I watch your videos. But I'll not be stopping in there tonight because I've got to move on. You look down there, you'll see the cement factory, which gives a lot of people from the Hope Valley work. Up there is where I stopped with Richard. Round that bend there, over the top, if you see the edge there, just round the top. In fact, on that little knoll, or that little fall of rocks is where I slept at the Northern Bushcraft conference first night, and I'm going to be going to there, get it, and having a look at that and considering whether I want to sleep there tonight. If not, I'll just probably keep walking, you know what I'm like. Oh, it makes it all worthwhile. And to be honest, it's nice to get a new rucksack some new gear, get this new camera out and about. I don't even know what photos are going to be like yet. I'm not using it for video yet until I go down to Flamborough with Gareth and Zoe. They're going to show me the best way of using it for vlogging with. Till then, not wrong with this picture. Alright guys, off we go. I'm going to walk up there, then I walk straight across. I could have gone that way across bottom, but I thought I'd come up here and show you this wood. And then straight off over yonder. Might end up on top of Kinder yet, we'll see. Right guys, where I am now is where I stopped with Richard. This winter just passed. Me and Richard trundled up here. We wanted to stop up on top of the cliff, but Richard's not used to hiking, so we got this far. I tell you what, that guy proper pushed his head. Alright, let's take the noddy hat off. He proper pushed his head and we camped here and we had a really good time. So that's where we are now. For me now, I have a drink of water. I promised we said a while back when I got thirsty I weren't going to have a drink till I got here. Right, so now, I don't know if you can see because it's sun, might be able to just see. I'm going to be heading up to there, you can't quite see, but it's where me and Richard wanted to stop. Now I want to call this place, from this point on, this is going to be known as Richard's Point, in respect of the hard work that Richard put in when he came up here. So every time anybody says, where did you camp up there, blah, I say we stopped at Richard's Point, and I'll give a quick reference as to where this is. Alright? It's just basically a little bit more than but it's Richard's Point. Well done Richard, top marks. So I'm going to head up there in a minute after I've had a drink of water. I don't think there's out I need to update you here now. But once we get up there, we'll consider at that point as to whether I'm going to be walking on or stopping there. Alright, so I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, well this is the area I was going to camp on. You can understand why. It's a beautiful little area there for sticking, having a bivvy or a tent or anything up really. Apart from a hammock obviously. From Greedy, so I'm going for view. So we're heading up there. See if we can find another lovely spot. I've been told there's a tittle of water somewhere up here, so hopefully it'll give me a water supply, even though I've got about a litre of water. I don't drink a lot anyway. I've had one sip of water since I set off, and it's a warm day today, so you should really hydrate yourself, in honesty. I'm not going to advise anybody not to. It's just like I just get too busy, I just keep forgetting to drink, but I drink enough in order to be able to get me by, if you follow me. Right guys, upward and onward, see you at the top. I've been asked a couple of questions about my gear and all, so we'll fill that in. Adam Lambert, I think it is, just asked me on Facebook. I'll try and answer your question. Okay, I had a couple of questions from Paul Lindsay. Sleeping bag and tent in the bag, that one you'll find out once I've set up. It says much room for food and water. Yeah, loads of room for food and water guys. And how many days hiking and camping would you be able to do with it? I could do, in that bag I could do at least 5 days. You could do more, yeah? If you're wondering about the room, I've got 2 10-litre pouches on each side. I haven't even touched them, there's nothing in them. Alright, and as far as the top of the bag, I like that, that pulls the bag together. Okay, it's a bit like a Bergen guys. You pull that, it releases. You pull that, it releases. Now you've got to remember, obviously I've got a dry sack inside. I've got all that room, because this is extendable. This top pouch is extendable, so you can actually take it right up, a bit like a Bergen. Yeah, and inside here I've also got a coat, and it's not a little coat, I could bring a smaller coat. Right, and so that coat's got a fleece in it, so that's a full-size coat with fleece that's rammed into the top of there. Alright, and then I've got everything else, and if I were going lightweight, yeah, because this is only for a weekend bag. Think about what I do now at the minute. If I want to go longer, I certainly won't be taking a jet boil, would I? I'd just be taking my Transi Triangle or something like that. Yeah. I've got 2 big water pouch containers here. Alright, got my Camelback which purifies, and I've got another big water. I won't be taking them, I'll be taking them water bags. Okay, and I'd have an hydration pack fitted into the top. It takes an hydration pack, does this. Alright, so I've got that. The inner bag extends that far, yeah, and that bag extends that far, and that goes on top of it. And then you've got your dry waterproof cover that goes over, will cope with at that height. Alright, a bit like a Bergen. So this to me is a cross between, sorry I'm squinting, is a cross between my Army Bergen, yeah, and my Berghaus, which was 65 litre. This is it goes up to 85 litre. It's a cross between, that's what I was after. It's a very tough bag, alright? Like I said, the stuff I'm bringing out here is luxury stuff. If I'm going long, walking for a full week, yeah, which I probably won't get time to do, but if I was, I'd be bringing much lighter gear which I could stuff away. I'd be bringing a waterproof jacket which just went into a little bag. You following me? I brought that so I can luxury. I can just crash out at night in that and just lay on top of me sleeping mat. Yeah? So there's going to be some changes, guys, so I'm going to be showing you them as soon as I set up. Alright, we've gone through this situation where I've had 2 setups, right, and now I'm going down to just 1 setup, and this is my sort of 2 to 3 day setup, and I will have some other gear that I can use, and I've got other gear which I can use if I want to go for a longer period of time. But this rucksack is awesome. If you look in here, look, it's got the TFX 6 system for the back to make sure air circulates around inside your back. It's fully adjustable. It's got loads of different adjustable straps and loops and all sorts. Yeah, right, and to get me this little setup sorted, let me just show you where I am. Right, that's what I call Dean's Wood, where I got it in images. Then we come across right to Richard's Point, then down here underneath is the point where I wanted to stop at, and then I got greedy, so I've come up onto top of hill. Okay, Will and Lucille and Whittle, can never remember which one's which. Mamtor, mountain at distance, Hollins Cross, just over at Rysdale is Edale. So I can see Hope. Hope's down there. Got the lakes over there. This view is amazing. Amazing view. If anyone wants to come, I'm sure I can find a grid reference for you somehow. Alright guys, awesome. I found a little spot here in the middle of all this. I know there's going to be midges tonight, I'm not worried. Alright, a little green island. So I'll be setting my gear up there and we'll get to see what I've got. And I've picked out my favourite stuff of all the gear and put it in one bag. See you in a bit. Right guys, set up. I think you can see by behind me, it tends to go. I can't do it. Oh, I've been going mad, insane. I've got problems with tents. So, moving on. Get me army basher, alright? Love me army basher. Right, so we've got that, and inside you can see there's my hooped bivvy and some other stuff. Let's go and have a look, let's go and have a nosy about, shall we? And I'll show you how it's set up. That's it, okay, so we're mixing things up a bit here. Now if you look at this, that's Lucy messaging me. Yes. Right, not seeing much out at a distance, you're not going to see that, are you really? Okay, that's what I like about that basher. Apart from these 1,000,001 different configurations I can use. Look at the views, by the way, background. This is just bonkers and phenomenal, absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, there's so many different configurations I can use with this. It's not like putting a tent up, yeah. I can put it against wind, and if it gets really bad, just dunker it down. It's such a low profile, wind ain't gonna bother me. Okay, so we've got that. Moving in. Berghaus jacket's gone, and I'm keeping this jacket. Now this jacket here, it looks a Jack Wolfskin. lovely and warm, got a fleece in it, okay. I've got my old noddy hat, silly hat, and that's for my mosquito net. Inside here I've got a ground sheet, it's only a small ground sheet, and I've got the orange lightweight Thermarest, okay, latitude 400 Van Gogh, like it's supposed to be 4 season, goes down to -4, if I put something inside that it'll go down a lot warmer. It's got the hooped bivvy, so that'll close me off if I need to. I'll probably sleep with that open. Alright, down there you can see the CamelBak. Now I've got to try and creep over here now, guys and gals. I've set it next to a rock on purpose because that gives me a platform to do stuff with. If I want to cook on it, if I want to put stuff on it, it's nice like having your own table. Okay, over here. We're going on about gear quite a lot on these because it has been a big bugbear of mine. From this point on, this is what I'll be using. Okay, the CamelBak, all clear. Okay, microbiological UV water purifier. What it does is it utilises UV light to kill the germs, not kill the germs, but make sure they can't have children, so to speak. Alright, so they can't reproduce in your digestive system. We're keeping the Jetboil, so the good old 20 triangle, unless I'm doing something long distance, which I can't see happening quite regular. That 20 triangle is gone for now. We're using the Jetboil. After doing a review last time, I fell in love with it again. Just a normal water bottle there. That might be replaced by a rubberized water bottle. Okay, and I might be using a like a water carrying system. Life Venture first aid kit. Okay, I've got my MSR Seidel cook pot. And another reason I've got that is because I can have my coffee in my coffee press. Alright, the coffee's in there. Obviously I'm using low alpine. I've got this lovely little bag here that's got all my food in it. Alright, I love that. It's North Face. We did a little bit of review with that. All my bags here. And I've got my new hat, as you can see. Okay. There you go, Outdoor Research. Brilliant thing, and also it's got a thing that comes with the protection neck. What have we got on here, guys? I've got my Berghaus hat for walking. It's like a wind hat. I've got all my charging gear for charging my stuff up. I don't need my hand warmers. I'm using that Stanley hip flask for me brandy. I've got my night candle. Okay, can't be without that. That'll be going tonight. I've changed the head torch to this one. Okay, it's a Van Gogh, little Van Gogh head torch. Got my mosquito net. What else in here you need to see? Spare batteries. Obviously I've got my lighter. Okay, my turbo flame lighter. And my micro headset over there. Oh, I've got a little neck thing here in case it gets cold on an evening. But I think, guys, that's it. So that's what we're doing now. From this point on, guys. Oh, there is one thing I want to show you. There's something I've been quite impressed with. For ages I've been trying to find a phone case, okay, or a phone cover which would be strong enough and tough enough to handle what I do. And also be totally waterproof, and I found this. It's called a Lifeproof. It's waterproof to 6 feet for 2.5 hours. It's tough, okay. It's a bit quiet when you're listening to it. If you've got a loudspeaker, you're fine. All right. It's good. It's a good case, good solid case. It's totally waterproof, and you have to do that to get into. And when you consider the Galaxy S5 is also waterproof anyway, and that's doubly waterproof, isn't it? So I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. I mean, I love my Jack Wolfskin jacket. You'll have seen that when I've been down to Flamborough. But again, just looking here, the sun's just come out, so have a good look. Yeah. Look at this. That's got to come on, guys. It's got to be better than a tent, hasn't it? Eh? Look at wind resistance. Wind just blows straight over it. When you're inside there in your root bivvy, you're totally dry because your bivvy is Gore-Tex. Yeah, so you've got Gore-Tex bivvy, and that's had, up to my knowledge, four coats, 4 full tins, should I say, of Fabsil Gold on it. There's no water coming in that. Right, I'll see you in a bit. There's the view. See you for now. Bye. Right, it's going to be windy, so it's bringing the basher down onto me. So what I'm going to do, found this oak tree. It looks like it was alive, but it weren't. It was a piece of dead stuff on ground. Okay, I don't know, maybe it just fallen off not so long back. But I'm going to use a new knife just to trim it up. And yeah, obviously it's doing its job properly. So I'm going to get all that trimmed down. A short work of that. That is extra wood I'll throw away. I'm certainly not having any fires. Won't be having any fires on here, guys. It would be mayhem if it took. So I'm going to get that, I'm going to trim it up, and I'm basically put it in there just to hold that little bit of that centre basher up. Alright? Okay. Nice knobbly bit there just to stick in there, just to rise that area up. Alright guys, smashing stuff. This new knife, by the way, it's been coated in olive oil because there's a chance at some point I'll end up using it for cooking maybe. That'll be cleaned up now and recoated with olive oil again. So that goes in there. Okay, as you can see, just by finding that stick, took what I'm doing actually, because you can see there's not many trees. Just over that rise where a tree that's fallen into gully, ripped a bit off, and it's just raising that middle bit. I could have dealt with it, but I thought, well, I was doing notes, so I might as well go and find me some something. And there you go, a little branch that's holding in the middle of it. Turns a bivvy into a hotel. Lovely stuff. Make a good text, Lulu. Right everybody, it's time for my first coffee of the trip. Not got much water left. I've got that for me coffee and I've got this, so I'll get some more water from down at Valley tomorrow. Just starting to go orange there. When this is boiled, all I'll do is put my coffee in there, let it percolate or whatever it is you call it, and then I'll squash my coffee down with my coffee press and I'll enjoy a nice black coffee. That's the problem with being up here, you see. Get that for a view. The problem with being up here, and I've candle, is that water's down at Bottom Valley, and in order to get a drink or get more water, I've got to walk down there to get it, so I always make sure I keep plenty. But I've drunk all these, I mean it's late on time, so I don't drink much anyway. So in the morning I'll do is have my breakfast. I don't have breakfast, I mean I'll have a coffee when I walk down to Valley, get out the stream and get me jet boil going inside the stream, but I will be having my tea in a bit. And that's all in this packet right here. So get that on, I'll come back to you in a minute when my coffee's done. Right, there you go, this is that lovely green coat I like, by the way. It doesn't look nice, it's like a nice coat. Green must go with ginger, that must be what it is, and that's why I like all this green stuff. So, that's like that. I've got my coffee. Get a good dollop of that. Being careful. Pop that in. Pop that on and leave it for a minute. In a sec. I'm going to put my press on. Make sure I put that away so I don't end up with coffee over everything. And let that percolate and do its thing. And then once it's done, job's a good one. Here we go, look. I've still got coffee in this from when I had one earlier. So all you do is pop that through there, look. If you've seen the video, you'll know. Screw that on. Stick that on there. Leave that to do its percolation. And then squash it down and press it. And then I can just drink my coffee. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. I can't wait, me buzzing. Okay, I've just been away because we had a bit of an issue. Alright. The battery decided that it was going to go on my camera. And so I've just DI'd it directly straight through. No matter what I do, this torch won't get the right angle. It's just saying no. That's all it's saying to me. It's saying no. So I'm just going to do the best I can, because we've got to do the dinner shot. We have to do it, okay? Ooh, nearly. These are things we have to contend with, aren't they, when we're doing all like this? But it's alright. It's alright, isn't it? It moved. Wind blew. But anyway, you can see fire, can't you? I'm just a little bit like, you know, shadowy and whatever. I'm a bit shady anyway. So what we got? Okay, so we've got the North Face container, haven't we? And what goodies have we got in here? I've got my little spatula. I don't need that really. I might use it. Let's see how we go. Okay, I've got my sugar. Got my oil. That's what Yorkshire people call a hurl. An oil. Croutons. Now I have to use my last bit of water for that, so I've got to go down to get some water out to stream it morning for my morning coffee. I got really thirsty earlier. What else we got? Oh, it's well packed in here, is this? Oh. Sweet and sour stir fry. It's the usual, to be honest, but if you've not watched one of my videos, you're not going to know. Uncle Ben's special Chinese rice. It's all vegan. This is where 95% of my watchers, people who watch me on YouTube, will all just turn off. Okay, tofu. Yes, I know, guys, I'm going joke. Tofu. What have I got in here? I've got a light matches. We don't need any of them, do we? We don't need them, do we? Because we're posh and it's got its self-igniter. But I'll just take them in case, for whatever reason, like a normal lighter, it don't work. Okay, so we're going to crack this up. I'm going to crack up the old MSR tin, get that banged on there, yeah, and then we're going to cook us some diddies. And once it's cooked, I'm not going to bore you with all that. I've done that, we're not going to bore you. Once that's all done and I'm all cooked up, I'll show you what I've created. Alright? I'll see you in a minute. Right guys, said I'm going to use this when I came away. I'm going to use it to open my tofu. It's my tofu stabber. Look at that. What a knife. It opens the tofu. Well, it does when I get around to doing it properly. Look at that, like a razor. Oh, sound of the pound. Empty water out of my tofu. Because when this is done and it turns into nice vegetable croutons, I'll get rid of water, I'll put some oil in and I'll be slicing that with that knife into there and I'll be frying it up. You can't see much, can you? I'll be frying it up, yeah, and then I'll be adding my sweet and sour and my rice. Top work. But I told you I've used my new knife, this knife. Right, it's coming to the end time now when the meal is almost done. It's getting very dark outside. It's gone from like sort of medium dark to very dark in a short period of time. Okay, Gareth and Zoe have just, that's them. Gareth and Zoe, that's you. They are saying that because I won't tell them what tent I've got, what gear I've got, and I'm not updating them personally, they want my tent to blow off kindle. They've already said that they don't think I'm in a tent, but I've confused them by telling them that maybe I bought a new tent. You see, they're nosy and having a look at my guy rope. I've seen a guy rope on the pictures. I said, oh no, wait a minute, that's not a Banshee guy rope. So I've told them I might be having another tent, but I think they've sussed it, but I'm not laying on too much. But they want me tent to blow off a kinder. I'll tell you, honest, it's getting a bit windy. I've told them it's windy, that's why. Right guys, look at that gloriousness. Totally vegan. Sweet and sour tofu with Chinese rice. And croutons, not croutons, are they? It's like dried vegetable things. Yeah? Glorious. But I'm going to get off now and I'll leave you to it because I enjoyed the darkness and the peace, apart from wind. And crash out. And I would have brandy, but Lulu's not being right well, and I'm not going to drink brandy because I can't drive home. You know what? I got a speeding fine from one of my horrible little vans today. So it's like 3 points on my licence and a 60 quid fine. But I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to man up to that and just pay it. Alright. I might go on one of them, oh I've been so naughty courses, I do apologise. Apparently I was 6 miles an hour over the speed limit. I was with 36 miles an hour on a road that really should be a 40, to be honest with you, because there's no houses. Anyway, I'm going to argue about it. I'm going to eat my dinner, see you in a bit, top marks, and I told you I'd use my knife, and I did, apart from cutting the stick. Yeah. Hey guys, weather's coming a bit tonight. The time is, it's only 1 o'clock in the morning, but the weather's come down. It's getting particularly windy, and all I've had to do is drop that side where my feet were. You know, we're open, we're all going in and out. I've literally just dropped that to the ground, pegged it in, and I'm hunkered down. And very low profile to ground. But I've still got a big entrance doorway there where I can get in and out, and the pole that was on the outside is now on the inside, on the roof up. Alright, the beauty of this is, if you look, have a look a minute, bear with me. Over here, the hoop bivvy is creating like a little bedroom annex at one side. So lovely and toasty in here now. It's like a fine drizzle that's coming down out there, and but it's a strong wind, so it's all good. So I'm going to go back to sleep again. Night night. Right guys, it's got to 4:30 in the morning and I've got to be training a client at 6. I've enjoyed this, it's been good. I like my little system. I think, in honesty, I've got this put together. Obviously I had to try it out while we're up here. I think the only thing I'm going to change is I'm going to put my 20 triangle back in again rather than the Jetboil. Now the Jetboil's a wonderful piece of kit, but I've got used to my 20 triangle and I can drink normal coffee. I mean, I think that's the reason I wanted it. The reason I wanted my Jetboil up here was so I could have pressed coffee, and it's great for that. But for me personally, I like that little flame, and I like to cook on a flame. So I think everything else is stopping. I mean, it's proven itself tonight. We've got some strong winds, and it's held out. So, and I'm comfortable, and I feel great, and the weight's good, and it all works with pack. So, I mean, in honesty, taking the Jetboil out's also going to give me a bit more room. There's loads of room in that pack. You've got to consider that on the way up here, I had that big coat with a thick fleece inside there on top, and it still went in. And I like, you know, the lid, I like it to come over the edges nice, and it did. And I had nothing in my side pouches, so that rucksack is definitely staying. All this is definitely staying, and what have you.
It's just the Jetboil. I'm just going to change to Jetboil for the Trandy Triangle, and that's it. That's the only thing that's changing. Other than that, I'm sticking with this. This system set up in a wood, set up on top of a rock face. We are up moors now like this, in strong winds. You can see wind if you just have a look at that. It's proper going for it. It's flapping away there, and it could get worse, but it did handle it anyway. I put some small pegs in with this system, and I'm going to up my pegs to the big unkering pegs. I've got some really thick ones, so I'm going to bang them in. These have done the job anyway, but I just want to make sure that if wind gets really bad, that it's not going to sort of pull pegs out. But I do love this system. I think another thing I might change, and this might sound bizarre, is, you know, these poles I've got these sort of green military style poles. I think I'll just change them for a couple of walking poles as well. And so I'll do that. I've got a mate who's got a couple of walking poles I can use. So then on way down hills, if I do any steep decline, I can utilise them in order to be able to help me down. And these just seem to hang on my bag. They're quite heavy and they hang on my bag. I don't really do much else than just do the job they're doing now. And a couple of walking poles are going to do that job for me. Right, with that, we've looked at the new system. We've had a great time. I do a bit of video way back down, but it is very dark. And we're expecting to see sunrise until about 5:15 to 5:30 in the morning. So who knows what we might get it just before we get down into the valley. It would be nice to get some photos with the DSLR. I don't think we're going to do. So yeah, I've got a client to train. Thank you very much for watching. If I don't video again, and have a good day. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit. I'm going to pack this gear down, it's dark, that's going to be funny. See you in a bit, bye. Hey guys, let's see how windy it is. Look, just checking the floor, there's nothing there. Nice and sorted, packed away, take too long. All nicely packed away, no rubbish left behind. None of the items behind either. Now I've got my lovely warm coat on, and it's a walk down the hill with the head torch, so that I can train some going. Right, see you in a bit.